You check in. You drop your bag on the bed. You think, somebody's getting rich off this. You're right, just not who you think. You'd assume Hilton owns the Hilton. You'd assume Marriott owns the Marriott. That assumption is wrong, and it's wrong on purpose. As of the end of 2025, Hilton operates 9,158 hotels in 143 countries. It owns or leases fewer than 1% of them. Marriott runs the same play over 9,800 properties, and the company itself holds title to roughly 50. That's not a footnote, that's the entire business model. Somebody is putting up $15 to $60 million to build these buildings. Somebody is carrying the debt, the insurance, the leaky roof, and it isn't the name on the sign. Welcome back to The Hidden Ledger. Today we open the books on the secret math of owning a hotel. Let's say you want to build an 100-room Hampton Inn from the ground up in a mid-sized American city. Land, construction, furniture, fixtures, equipment, call it $15 to $22 million. Add the franchise application fee, which for a Hampton by Hilton runs roughly $100,000 just to get in the door. Don't want to build? Buy an existing property instead. Airport-adjacent branded mid-scale hotels have traded north of $200,000 per key in recent years. A 250-room property at that rate puts you at $50 to $60 million before you've replaced a single light bulb. Then the brand mails you a document that changes everything. The Property Improvement Plan, the PIP. A mandatory renovation checklist, carpets, furniture, lobby, sometimes entire mechanical systems, and it is not a suggestion. Refuse it, and the brand pulls your flag. A hotel without a flag is just a building with beds and no reservation pipeline. Here's the number that should scare you. A mid-scale PIP can run into the multiple millions, and renovation costs across the hospitality sector have climbed sharply since 2020 on labor and materials alone. You haven't checked in a single guest, and you're already tens of millions deep. So would you still buy in, knowing the real number isn't the purchase price? That's the question every first-time hotel investor answers wrong. Your hotel is open, rooms are booked, here's what happens to that dollar before you ever see it. The brand takes its royalty first. Marriott charges roughly 5 to 6% on gross room revenue, plus marketing assessments on top of that. Hilton runs a comparable structure. On a hotel generating $5 million a year in room revenue, that's several $100,000 gone before you've paid a single employee, before utilities, before insurance. Then the management company takes its cut 3 to 5% of total revenue to run daily operations, because most owners don't operate the hotel themselves. Add it up, and you're already at 10 to 15% of revenue consumed by fees before a single mattress gets made. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Roughly a fifth to a third of hotel bookings now come through Booking.com, Expedia, and their peers. And those platforms are charging commissions that have crept from around 10% a decade ago to as high as 20 to 25% today on many bookings. Every guest who finds you on Booking.com instead of your own website just cost you a quarter of what they paid. The brands fight back with loyalty. Marriott Bonvoy crossed 271 million members by the end of 2025. Hilton Honors sits above 240 million. Both exist to pull bookings away from OTAs and back to the brand's own app, but every point redeemed is still a cost the owner ultimately absorbs. Stack the royalty, the management fee, the OTA tax, labor, which runs roughly a third of revenue, insurance, and maintenance, and the average US. Hotel lands at an 8 to 10% net profit margin. Some trophy properties hit 20 to 30%. Most don't come close. And here's the counterintuitive part. While that owner is grinding out single-digit margins, the brand sitting above them is doing something else entirely. Marriott pulled in $5.4 billion in gross fee revenue in 2025, up 5% year over year. And it's guiding toward roughly $5.9 to $6 billion in 2026. That's not hotel revenue. That's pure toll collection. Royalties, management fees, and credit card partnership income charged whether the underlying hotel had a great year or a terrible one. A recession hits, occupancy craters, Marriott still gets its royalty. The roof needs replacing. That's the owner's capital expenditure, not the brand's. This is the asset-light model, and it's why hotel brands trade like tech companies while hotel owners operate like landlords with extra homework. Ask yourself this. If you'd taken that $15 million construction budget and put it into Hilton or Marriott shares instead of a building, which bet do you think outperformed? The company holding the brand or the person holding the risk? So who actually makes money owning hotels? Not usually the person who bought one. According to the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, its members overwhelmingly Indian American and disproportionately Gujarati families, with the surname Patel, own more than 60% of hotels and motels in the United States. That's not folklore. It's a documented decades-long pattern that started with immigrant families buying small independent motels, living on site, and running them with family labor instead of paid management. The playbook is consistent. Eliminate the management fee by operating it yourself. Reinvest cash flow into a second property. Franchise under a recognizable brand only to plug into the reservation system, using the brand as a distribution tool, not a dependency. Then repeat across a decade and hand the portfolio to the next generation. One hotel, run alone, against an 8 to 10% margin, is barely a job. 10 hotels, run lean, with shared overhead and family labor, is a real business. Scale is the entire arbitrage. Put $15 million into a 100-room Hampton Inn. Generate $3.5 to $4 million in annual revenue. After franchise fees, management costs, labor, insurance, and debt service, you're likely clearing somewhere between $200,000 and $400,000 a year in free cash flow. In 7 to 10 years, the brand sends another PIP, budget a few million more. And when you eventually sell, your buyer inherits the same obligation which caps what they're willing to pay you. Meanwhile, the company collecting 8 to 10% of your revenue every year just posted record fee income and is guiding for another year of growth. Their debt isn't your problem. Your roof isn't their problem. Marriott doesn't own hotels. It owns the reason you booked one, the app, the points, the name on the sign. And that turns out to be worth more than the building underneath it. To unlock the hidden math of more everyday assets, subscribe to The Ledger. We will see you inside.